Hello YouTube, LD50 here, back with another Borderlands video, and today we're going to be talking about the new Melee Zane build using the Facepuncher and the new purple skill tree. We'll go through the build and the gear required, we'll do a little bit of combat, and then we'll have a recap at the end, but we'll jump straight in to have a quick look at the new action skill. So most recently we have this purple skill tree added to our range of skills, and we have the Mantis shoulder cannon. This is not a duration skill, it is a action skill that can be used repeatedly. We'll demonstrate it quickly. As you see, top left hand corner there is a cannon, and it shoots out over our shoulder and can be fired repeatedly. Because it can be fired repeatedly, we're able to take advantage of some new types of gear. We can use action skill start and action skill end anointments on our gear, which gives us great increase to damage. The other change that we're going to do between this and the previous build is, instead of using a consecutive hits Facepuncher, we're going to use a 300/90 anointed Facepuncher, and the reason for that is that will boost our action skill damage. So every time we use our Mantis cannon, it will gain this 300/90 damage for enemies that we haven't damaged. So basically it will increase the damage by 4. Importantly, we can now use an action skill start or an action skill end anointment on our equipment, and we're now able to use the frozen heart with the action skill start, activate any effects that trigger on shield break or fill, which means that when we activate our action skill or fire our cannon, you'll see there's a big nova that goes out. That nova will freeze enemies. As you can see, when depleted, releases a large cryo nova, dealing 40,627 damage and freezing enemies, and 30% of nova damage is returned as health. So this is a good source of health and healing, but it's also importantly a source of freezing our enemies. And if you remember, frozen enemies take bonus melee damage. We can also take advantage of the action skill end anointment, which means that we can get bonus elemental damage every time we fire our Mantis cannon. We've now changed over to an MNTIS grenade for the debuff. We were using, I believe, a hex before, but now we're going to use the MNTIS because we're using our drone to deliver the grenade for us. We're going to get some debuff to enemies, but we're also going to get this action skill end bonus radiation damage, and we have this in a variety of flavors: shock, corrosive, incendiary and cryo, depending on the situation what we're in. The other change is, instead of using a knife drain, we're now going to use a stone white elephant, and again these come in a variety of flavors. So we have shock, radiation here, fire. That will give us a bonus 80% multiplicative elemental damage, which really ramps up the damage that this build can put out. We're also going to change over to a spy comm. We were using an infiltrator before with the low level brawler ward. The infiltrator comm breaks the shield, so that would bring our brawler ward down to 0 all the time, but now we're using a frozen heart and we're going to use the spy comm. The spy comm is a new comm that was introduced with the Arms Race DLC, and it drops within the Arms Race DLC itself. We still have a trick Unforgiven for crit swapping if we have a stubborn enemy, or if we're in fight for our life. This will just give us a little bit of extra damage to help us get out of fight for your life. But we do find that this build is plenty beefy enough, powerful enough to clear all of the content, so hopefully we won't go down too many times. If we do, it'll be more my bad playing than the build itself. So that is the basic gear that we need for this build to work. Obviously you don't have to have the Unforgiven if you're not a fan of crit swapping. but you do need the Facepuncher and the Frozen Heart. The grenade that you choose doesn't have to be in its piss, but it does want to have some sort of action skill and elemental damage. And really you do want to have a stone white elephant in whichever flavour that you want. And you could use this with a Seeing Dead com, but I'm finding more success using the Suave Spy com. So we're going to go through the skills now. We'll have a look at the new purple tree, go through the other skills, and then we're going to do a bit of combat. So we have our Mantis shoulder cannon as our left shoulder button. That's how I prefer to have it. You might want it on the right, but I find it difficult to use both of the right hand shoulder buttons at the same time. So I have mine set to the left. Going down the skill tree here, Man of Focus is a stacking skill, so we can get away with just 1 point in it. It does give us a max of 10 stacks, 7% per stack for accuracy and handling, or 7.4 for handling actually. So at 10 stacks we're going to get 70% accuracy and 74% handling, which is more than enough for a single point. And because we're going to be spamming our cannon a lot, we will keep those stacks up fairly high. We're going to put 4 out of 5 into Deja Vu to give us a little bit of a chance to get some extra ammo added to our magazine. Now, whilst the Facepuncher doesn't score critical hits itself, the weapon will score critical hits if it has an action skill end element applied to it, which we have in this instance from the grenade, and also the white elephant sticky bombs can score critical hits. We want 5 out of 5 into Commitment. Commitment again is a stacking skill, and as far as we know there isn't a limit to how far it can stack. I've had this up to 25 stacks, so 25 times 54, well, you can do the maths yourself. That is a lot of damage, way over 1000% damage. 5 out of 5 into Headsman's Hand for critical hit damage. Again, that's from the white elephant's sticky bombs, and for the action skill end elemental damage from the anointment, not from the Facepuncher itself. That is a kill skill. We'll talk about how we will keep our kill skills up or activate them when we do the blue tree. Moving down, I like to take 5 out of 5 in the Art of War for extra gun damage. Again, it's a stacking skill. 15% per stack, so 150% gun damage. It's not to be sniffed at. 3 out of 3 into Sheer Will to give us extra cooldown on our Mantis cannon so that we can spam it as much as we like. A couple of points into Eraser. Eraser is a skill very much like Bore from Borderlands 2, which was one of Zero's skills, which would allow you to go through enemies and hit multiple enemies. So if we do score a critical hit, the shot will pass through and will deal bonus damage to other enemies. And then finally we've taken Arman Flint, which is a new capstone, which gives us extra damage when aiming down sights and automatically applies a status effect. Well, that's not going to happen because we're using the Facepuncher, which doesn't have a status effect damage, but the ADS damage boost is very welcome, particularly in Fight for Your Life. That will get us out of trouble if we need. Augments we want to think about taking No Way Out, because what happens is when you hit an enemy with the shoulder cannon, the enemy is pulled towards you and you do bonus damage, 25% damage increase in fact, and by spamming the Mantis cannon with the Frozen Heart on, the enemy will be frozen in place and brought towards us, making it easy to hit them with all of the shots from the Facepuncher. And then finally we'll take proliferation even, there we go, not as easy to say as I said. Proliferation. Zane's Mantis shoulder cannon gains additional charges and deals increased damage based on the number of charges remaining. Well, we're going to be spamming a lot, so we probably won't get so much of the extra damage, but we definitely will get a couple of extra shots, so it's worth having this as the other augment. Down the blue tree, the one major change you'll notice is Seeing Red and Death Follows Close have been swapped around. As in most Zane builds, we want to take 5 out of 5 into Violent Speed and Violent Momentum because, well, speed is damage with Zane. We want to take 1 point into Salvation. The Facepuncher itself doesn't benefit from this, but the sticky bombs will, and the damage done by the stone, the element applied, and also by the action skill end anointment element will also proc Salvation. 1 out of 1 into drone delivery to allow our drone to deliver that It's Piss grenade for us. 5 out of 5 into Cool Hand for some extra reload and even more reload after a kill. And then the big daddy here, Seeing Red, which used to be the capstone, has been moved up to a more central position. That will give us our kill skills every time that we activate our Mantis cannon, and we'll be doing that a lot, so we'll be able to keep our kill skills alive all the time. So that will obviously boost Cool Hand, and going back to the purple tree, it will boost Headsman's Hand as well. We'll put just 4 out of 4 into Violent Violence. That's enough, 18% fire rate. It is a fairly small magazine, and whilst we do have some reload skill, we don't want to fire so quickly that we spend more time reloading than we do shooting. 3 out of 3 into Good Misfortune, because we do want to increase the action skill duration on a kill. This isn't a permanent action skill build, so we do need to keep an eye on our drone's action skill to make sure that when it runs out we can activate it again. And then finally 1 out of 1 into Death Follows Close for this kill skill bonus and bonus kill skill duration. So that means that every time we activate our action skills, we will activate the kill skills, and they will be more effective and last for longer. In the red tree, we're just going to take 5 out of 5 into Synchronicity for 20% gun damage per active action skill, and realistically with this build we're only going to get the 20% because the Mantis cannon is a single use, it's not a duration action skill. 5 out of 5 into Donnybrook for health regeneration and gun damage. It's a kill skill, so every time we activate our Mantis cannon we're activating Donnybrook, so that's extra damage. And then finally a single point into Duct Tape Mod, really for the immunity that we will get from our own guns and grenades. It doesn't stop you applying a dot to yourself, but it will stop you blowing yourself up with your grenades. And then finally we're not putting any points at all into the green tree, we're leaving that one alone. So we'll just have another quick look at the purple tree, the blue tree and the red tree. And we'll fire off a couple of action skill Mantis cannon shots here, just so that you can see that the action skills come back. And if you look at the bottom, you'll see some of the skills start to stack. If you look on the right hand side, you've got a skill going up there, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the commitment skill, and that is so easy to stack, giving us this increased damage. And the third skill from the left is also stacking, and that is our Man of Focus, so that's increasing our accuracy as well. So by using the shoulder cannon and spamming it repeatedly, we're able to increase the damage and the accuracy of the Facepuncher, which means it can be used at more of a distance as well. So there we go, that is the new build. Extremely powerful. It wouldn't surprise me if in the future Gearbox has a look at commitment as a skill and maybe puts a limit on the amount it will stack, but whilst it will stack at the moment without any particular limit, we will enjoy the bonus power. So that's the build. We're going to jump over to the Malawan takedown, I think, and we'll try a true takedown to show that this build really can do the hardest content in the game. So I'll see you over there in a moment. Welcome back. We're going to run through on true takedown mode. But before we do that, I just wanted to touch on the Mayhem mode and Guardian perks that you'll need to make this build work most effectively. I now prefer to have this on Mayhem 11 for less visual pollution, slightly less rewards, a little bit less XP, iridium and money, and slightly lowered drop rate for gear. But it's more pleasant to play without all the visual pollution. And also our Guardian perks and our Guardian rank. This is an endgame build. You do need to have invested some serious points to get down to the highest cost skills here, like Groundbreaker, Too Angry to Die, Topped Off. We want to have shield reboot and emergency response enabled. If you did watch my previous Melee Zane build, you'll know that we had these turned off. But now we want them to have them enabled. So yeah, invest some points, spend them, get down to Groundbreaker, try to get down to Too Angry to Die, and try to at least get down to Topped Off. This will help the build, make it a bit more fun to play. So let's proceed forward. We'll drop down and take care of a few of these rats. As you can see, by activating our frozen heart, we are able to freeze the enemies solid. There you go. And we're just one-shotting them. Now let's see if we can get them to come towards us. As you can see, augment there, no way out, looks a bit like a fishing rod, was pulling the enemies towards us, and because they're frozen they stay in place, makes them very easy to hit.
Your parents shall be ashamed of you.
We've got a death sphere up there. We'll see if we can get rid of him. And we'll take care of the chaps up on the ledge there. Get our drone out again. And there we go, force field is down. And you can see there that the enemy was being pulled towards us by the action skill augment.
Anyone teach you how to fight?
There's a good example of our action skill augment, No Way Out. It pulled that enemy straight towards us. He was frozen in place, very easy to hit. Brilliant augment to our action skill. They just want to be killed. So let's move forward. And we've managed to go down from my very poor gamesmanship, but we'll get something here, we'll get back up again. There we go. So as you can see, if you're a better player than me, you should have no problem with this build at all. It's certainly powerful enough. And keep spamming that action skill for the health regen from the Frozen Heart. The enemies that are up in the air here do have particularly accurate weapons. So there we go. Very powerful build. And in the hands of somebody who's a better player than me, probably not going to go down as much. Let's get our drone out. It can do some work for us as well. There we go. Now you've got to remember this is true takedown. There's a lot more enemies about than on the regular takedown. I think he might have gone over the edge there. Right, I think we're ready to get the Kraken out. All the barrels have gone. There's a bit of that barrel there as well. Right. Let's spam our cannon a little bit. Getting done from behind a little bit there. And I think that's everybody. So yes, you can play quite aggressively. It is fairly forgiving, this build. If you go down, you can get back up again. Aiming down sights will give some extra bonus damage, even in Fight for Your Life, and the 300/90 will give us extra bonus damage while in Fight for Your Life. So it's fairly forgiving as a build, and obviously if you're a better player than me, you're less likely to go down. Let's proceed on and take on the Valkyries. We'll allow the elevator to go down, and then we'll jump down. We'll get our drone out. And one shot from the cannon is enough to put them into their immunity phase. Very handy to be able to keep all those dogs in place. They are quite annoying. The drone is nearly finished. We'll keep an eye on that, and as soon as it's come back, we will deploy that again. Drone's out.
You cannot flee from the judgment of the heavens.
And here they all come for their last phase. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. That's the Valkyries taken care of. We'll move along to the bridge. Bridge can be quite challenging on true takedown with a lot of enemies at once. Let's hope I don't go down too many times. Might just wait for our drone to come back before we go around the corner. And yes, there we go. Poor gamesmanship. I ran in a little bit too quick there. But we are back up again. There we go. Choosing not to play too conservatively here. I don't mind how many times I take a knee, as long as I don't bleed out completely. There we go. That's that little phase over. I do find that I get a little bit of reflected damage off of those Malawan shields as well, if I'm not particularly careful. Taking them one at a time, they go down very easily. Get our drone out. Frozen Heart is such a fantastic shield.
Do some work, drone.
Right, let's proceed up onto the bridge. This can be quite a challenge. The good thing about the Frozen Heart is when you have those invisible enemies, it'll freeze them up and you can see where they are. Let's get our drone out again. Right, we seem to have taken care of quite a lot of the bridge. As you can see, no problem with this build in terms of power. And I've even managed not to go down too many times. That might be looking gift horse in the mouth, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Get our drone out again. Right, we've managed to go down here, my poor gamesmanship. But we're back up again. Thought I might have spoken too soon about not going into fight for my life.
Monkey gets.
There we go. Just these last heavies here. And that's the bridge cleared. Well, yes, I took a knee there, but that's my own stupid fault. Right, we'll proceed on to Wotan. And we'll see how we do there. Try not to go down, but hey, it's chaos. Let's have some fun. Right, we want to spam our cannon a little bit to get commitment stacks up. And you can see how much damage we can get out of this build. It's always worth keeping one or two ads alive, maybe, just in case we go down here. That's the better half done. Oh, we've gone down there, but we have a enemy to get back up from. And we've got a little one over there somewhere. Where is he? There he is. Got our second win back. Get our drone out. And there we go, takedown confirmed. Let's get the brain.
That ass kicking will make Malawan think twice before they come at us again.
So you can see how powerful that build is. Yes, we did go down, but a better player than me probably wouldn't. I do urge you to try the build. I think it's a very powerful build. It's very fun to play. Quite chaotic as well. You could probably move a few points around here and there if you wanted more survivability, but I find that it's perfectly fine as it is. And don't forget, this is the most challenging content. This is true takedown mode at the Malawan takedown. So yes, the build will do pretty much anything. We'll have a very quick look at the skill trees again. Obviously we're using our Mantis shoulder cannon there and spamming the hell out of it to get our commitment stacks, which is giving us this extra damage bonus. Blue tree, red tree, and no points in the green tree. That's our guardian rank. That was the Mayhem mode, and this was the gear that we used, the 300/90 Facepuncher. I don't think I even used the Trick Unforgiven there. The action skill start, Anointed Frozen Heart, this Suave Spy, Com, our Corrosive Stone White Elephant, and our It's Piss Grenade with our action skill End Elemental Radiation Anointment. And there you go, that was a run through True Takedown at the Malawan Black Site. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I've been LD50, you've been lovely, bye for now.